Assalamu alaikum students. Today I'm here with another video about the Khilafat movement, which is a very interesting topic of history. And before starting the topic, I just wanted you to subscribe the channel, like the videos, press the bell icon so you can get new topic, new videos whenever it is published. So let's start the video. And first of all, we'll see what were the causes of the Khilafat movement. There was deep-seated Muslim fears about the British policies for them, and there was a competition between Russia and British over how to rule Persia and Afghanistan without considering feelings of Muslim population of these countries. And British support the Balkan states, which were the Southeast European states, against Turkey. And there were fears about the breakup of Turkish Empire, which was the Ottoman Empire, by the British after World War I, and which was another major reason. Indian Muslims supported British in World War I against Germany and her allies, including Turkey, on the British promise of maintaining respect with Turkish Empire and Khilafat. Khalifa of Turkey was the spiritual head of the Muslims and was the custodian of the holy places of Islam in Arabia and nearby places. And British Prime Minister Lloyd George anticipated the disintegration of the Turkish Empire and the loss of the different empires. So as the World War I ended, British began to punish Germany and her allies by various treaties, and Muslims were alarmed on this and organized the Khilafat movement. Now, if we talk about the main features of the Khilafat movement, prominent Muslim leaders of the Khilafat movement were Maulana Muhammad Ali Johar, Maulana Shaukat Ali, Maulana Abdul Kalam Azad, Maulana Abdul Bari, Dr. Ansari, Maulana Hasrat Mohani, and Hakim Ajmal. The first Khilafat conference convened in Delhi in November 1919, and they aimed to rally Muslim support for Turkey. It was led by Ali brothers, hoping to pressurize the British to honor their commitments regarding the Turkish Empire. Maulana Abdul Kalam Azad and Gandhi represented Congress, with Gandhi aiming to unite Hindus and Muslims in non-violent resistance against the British. Azad warned about David Lloyd George's intentions to punish Turkey for its role in World War I. Conference passed a resolution to send a delegation to British to showcase Muslim support for the Khalifa. The second Khilafat conference took place in Amritsar in December 1919. Congress and Muslim League agreed to collaborate with the Khilafat movement. Decision was made to boycott all British goods and institutions again, and Gandhi tasked was that to persuade British to spare Turkey from the punishment. The third Khilafat conference occurred in July 1921. They passed resolutions that deeply offended the British, and resolutions including boycotting the British schools, police, army, and any cooperation with the British authorities. And it resulted in the arrest of Khilafat leaders, including the Ali brothers, for this act. Now, if we talk about the end of the Khilafat movement, Gandhi joined the movement on condition to keep it non-violent, but after the Chauri incident, when 22 policemen were burnt alive, he withdrew from this movement. Main political leaders, either they were Muslims or Hindus, they were arrested after the third conference. And in 1924, the Khilafat was abolished by Kemal Ataturk in Turkey, who sent the last Khalifa, Sultan Muhammad VI, into exile and made himself the ruler of the modern Turkey. Now, if we talk about the motives behind initiating the Khilafat movement, it was initiated by several reasons. The protection of the institution of the Khalifa, which was the Turkish Empire Khalifa, because the Turkish defeat in the World War I raised concern among the Muslims about the fate of the Khalifa and the empire, the Ottoman Empire. Indian Muslims also, revered the Ottoman Empire, considering it as as the hub of the Islamic values and the main Islamic holy places. And we, as Muslims of subcontinent, they wanted to safeguard the holy places like control of Makkah, Medina, Jerusalem, and other parts of Arabia. Hindus and Muslims also having collaborated since the Lucknow Pact, and they saw Khilafat movement as an opportunity to advance towards the self-government. British assurance during the World War I regarding the Khalifa's safety were perceived as broken promise again, and it fueled the Muslim resentment. There was a mistrust of British governance because because of the Rowlatt Act, and there were British interferences in the Muslim majority regions like Afghanistan, Persia, and then potentially Turkey. So these were the reasons that why Muslims couldn't trust British, that they would not harm the holy places of Muslims over there. So some Indians opposed British involvement in conflicts against Muslim nations, leading to the resolutions against military service and civil disobedience. And the Khilafat movement aimed to pressurize the British government to respect Turkish sovereignty and allowed Turks to determine their own future. So these were the main motives behind. Now, if we talk about the causes and reasons for the failure of Khilafat movement, Gandhi's withdrawal from the Khilafat movement proved fatal for the movement at that time, and he did it because of the Chauri incident. The Hijrat movement, with leaders declaring India as a Darul Harb, caused division among Muslims, and it also proved fatal for the Khilafat movement. Mustafa Kemal Ataturk abolished the Khilafat in Turkey, and he, made it a Republic of Turkey, the modern Turkey. So it was the main issue. There was a lack of clear objectives, and Gandhi's inclusion of Hindus muddled the movement purpose and alienated the Muslim supporters. There was a poor leadership, British imprisonment of key leaders, there was a Moplah Uprising, and these all factors weakened the movement. But Lloyd George refused to meet movement's demands in 1920, and it signals its decline. And Hindu extremist parties like Arya Samaj and Hindu Mahasabha also exaggerated tensions, and it led to Hindu-Muslim riots as well. Now, if we talk about the effects of the Khilafat movement, there were some positive effects and as well as negative effects. Let's discuss the positive effects first. Muslims realized that the importance of the political power, as they were now or more pets of the British, but could rise in unity for a common cause. So it was the confidence for them. It built their confidence that they could rise as a political power. The Hindu-Muslim unity proved possibility of self-rule in future as both joined hands in non-cooperation movement. But there were some negative effects, that the Hindu-Muslim unity was short-lived as there were essential differences between the two communities, and the Hijrat movement had bad effects on the thousands of innocent Muslims. We are going to see the Hijrat movement in the next slides. So there are some important topics related to this chapter. Number one is Chaura incident. On February 2nd, 1922, protesters entered Chaura market during the non-cooperation movement, protesting high meat prices. So police interruption and arrest of political leaders escalated the tensions, and it led to injuries among the protesters. So 2,000 to 2,500 protesters marched to the picket of a liquor shop, and facing the police intervention and leader arrests. Protesters marched to Chaura police station, demanded leaders release, but police fired warning shots which aggravated the situation. Protesters retaliated by pelting stones. Police opened fire, and resulting in the burning of the police station by the people, by the angry mob, and there was a death of 23 policemen. Gandhi called off the non-cooperation movement in response to the violence at Chaura incident. Now, what was the Moplah Uprising? Malabar was an area of subcontinent, and it was a hub of unrest due to Arab Muslims living under the Hindu feudal lords over there, with a strong allegiance to the Sultan of Turkey and inspired by the Khilafat movement. So in June 1920, a Khilafat committee formed in Malabar, but the government's ban on public meetings and arrest of Moplah leaders angered the community, and which led to the widespread riots. Initially anti-government, the Moplah turned anti-Hindu after Hindu obstructed the Khilafat meeting in a mosque, and it sparked the violence. And these Malabar Muslims were called actually Moplahs. And there was law and order situation, bad law and order situation, as communication networks were attacked, and railway tracks were damaged, and government authority was weakened over there. At Tirur, 10,000 Moplahs destroyed a police station, seized arms, and killed Europeans, and they destroyed Hindu homes and temples as well. So British troops pressed the uprising, and it resulted in over 4,000 Moplahs casualties, and as compared to very few hundred British casualties. Now, if we talk about the Hijrat movement, Abdul Kalam Azad and Maulana Abdul Bari issued a fatwa declaring that India is a Darul Harb, and urging Muslims to migrate to a Muslim country, aiming to pressurize the British government. The Hijrat was meant to demonstrate Muslim solidarity and hope to force the British to meet Khilafat conference demands by damaging their international reputation. Thousands migrated, hoping for refuge in Afghanistan, but the Afghan government was unwelcoming. They sent them back, resulting in deaths among the returns, and including elders, women, and children. And the failure of the Khilafat Hijrat movement left many Muslims divided and demoralized, with around 18,000 families migrating to Afghanistan in 1920 as part of their religious protest. Now, if we talk about the non-cooperation movement, that Gandhi initiated the non-cooperation movement in 1919, and it was later joined by Muhammad Ali Johar, aimed at supporting Khilafat in Turkey and achieving the self-government for India. Both movements aimed to overthrow British rule, making Gandhi, Maulana Muhammad Ali Johar, and Shaukat Ali Johar idols for the Hindu and Muslims. The movement involved burning of British cloth, promoting Indian hand-woven cloth, boycotting English colleges, schools, and legal systems, and returning government titles and medals. A fatwa was issued by Jamiyat-e-Ulama-e-Hind that urged disassociation from the British institutions, resulting in mass resignations, boycotts, and protests. So British, what they did in response, they imprisoned over 30,000 political prisoners, led Gandhi decision to cut off the protest after the Chauri incident, and despite Gandhi's efforts, the non-cooperation movement failed to achieve self-rule and even did not save Khilafat, so leading to Jinnah's resignation from the Congress due to his opposition of this potential failure of the program. So this was the chapter of the Khilafat movement. I hope that the main points are clarified to you. Thank you so much.